there was an amazing fight card. Did you guys see this?
I did not see it.
UFC 249. It was one of the best fight cards I've ever seen. By fight card, I mean like all the fights that were on it.
Yeah.
It was one of the best fight cards I've ever seen. I'm like a longtime boxing fan.
Yeah.
MMA is the sport of the future. It is undeniably more entertaining. It is undeniably more digestible for the average fan.
How so?
It's easier.
5-minute rounds, so it's 25 minutes.
You know what it is? And a boxing match is only 30.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit longer,
36
minutes or whatever like that. It's not. But the thing with boxing is you kind of need this is not like an intelligence thing. Like you don't need a higher IQ, but it's the same thing with baseball. Like people who watch baseball
understand the game.
They understand like the pitching strategy. They understand all these other little nuances of baseball, so they can really appreciate it. The average fan that just comes in to watch baseball, they're like, I don't get it, bro. These guys are striking out all the time. They're just eating. Are they eating? Like what's happening?
He gets on base 3 out of 10 times, and I'm supposed to be impressed.
Yeah, like this is not good, right? Same thing with soccer. Like a lot of people watch soccer and they're like, where's the action, bro? Like what's going on, right? We grew up watching boxing, so I think we're grandfathered into it. But the future generations, like you can not know anything about MMA and fall in fucking love with the absolute carnage that exists within it. Now, it's possible that it gets more boring like boxing as the athletes get better at the sport. You know, when you reach the top of anything, it's very hard for it to be exciting because everything you do, I know how to counter. And everything I do, you know how to counter. So there's this version of a stalemate. But right now, MMA's in a pretty rough space still where like there are random guys that aren't that technical. They're just massively talented. Like this guy, Francis Ngannou. He's this guy from Cameroon, I believe. He is massive, 6'4", 260 pounds, solid fucking rock. And he went up against this other guy named Jairzinho Rozenstruik or something like that. The guy calls him out. Jairzinho Rozenstruik calls him out, says, I want to fight this guy. And he's like, I can't believe anybody would call me out. 20 seconds, knocks him out in 20 seconds. He just goes straight at him.
Yeah.
He just runs straight at him, throws this big looping right hand. Jairzinho catches him with a hook. It doesn't even phase him. Knocks him his head, completely unconscious, punches him a couple more times, fights over, go home. I mean, unbelievable. There was another fight where these two guys were just tagging off in each other's faces. Both of them look like clowns afterwards. I mean, eyes puffy, completely swollen, dripping blood all over the place. The main card, Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is destroyed by the end of this fight. Like his face looks like a saw mask. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
That's what he looked like. It was unbelievable. I mean, and he has so much heart. He's just going in there. He's getting cracked by the guy Gaethje the entire time. Impossible to not like this. It's impossible to not like the sport.
Right.
I mean, it was just like, I'm seeing what fight sports will be in the future. And there's no way it can't be this. And you know what makes it so great? The tyranny of it. Democracy, in a lot of ways, killed boxing.
How so? Too many belts, too many...
So, because there is merit in who fights who in boxing, right? We've had to create more belts. When there was just one belt per division, you know what can happen? A really boring guy gets the belt. And that guy maintains the belt forever. And it's boring because his style sucks.
Yeah.
Right? The beauty of MMA is two people you don't even know can fight each other, and it can be the most exciting fight in the world because it's the closest thing to a street fight or a bar fight. And we'll watch those all day. Right? So what they do, the UFC is one organization. So they control all the matchmaking, etc. They decide who fights who. They say you're the second-ranked contender, but if they don't want you to fight them, you don't fight them. You can't sue.
Yeah.
In boxing, you have these multiple organizations, and you're fighting for belts in each one, and the organizations are competing against each other and switching rankings and that kind of stuff. You kind of got to like pay a guy off if you want to fight someone else instead. There's a little bit more merit in it. The fact that there's one guy in MMA or in the UFC specifically going, you're fighting this guy, can create these amazing fights because that one guy can go, those styles aren't going to match up. Don't let them fight. It'll be boring. And then you create a figure like Cowboy Cerrone. Have you heard of Cowboy Cerrone?
I know of him.
Cowboy Cerrone in boxing would be like a journeyman boxer who like never really amounted to much, but would fight a couple fights and then he'd be out of there. He became a superstar in MMA. because they matched him perfectly with guys around his talent level. And then every once in a while, when he jumps up to like the elite, he gets his ass kicked.
This is the one McGregor beat the shit out of, right?
Yes.
And like loved him. Like was actually gracious and nice and yeah.
But that's what happens. That guy's such a great character and makes amazing fights no matter who he's with. So what you do is you make him fight guys that are around his level that he can beat.
Yeah.
And then you take this character and you make him this like almost folk hero within MMA, but you never really expose him to the craziest shit.
Right.
And then you do when he can make a lot of money. Yeah. Hey, you've done a lot of good work for the business. You're going to fight McGregor. You're going to make your big paycheck. And you could do this with a bunch of little fighters.
Right.
And have them have these really exciting fights and build them up. Unlike boxing where it's like, okay, you kind of got to fight this guy because he's your mandatory challenger and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant, man.
Do you think it was like so good because you haven't seen live sports in a long time?
I think there's part of it. I think it's definitely part of it. I think I was craving something that was just happening in the moment. I'll be honest, I didn't bother me at all that nobody was in there. I really liked it. Like, did you listen to it? You watch a fight?
It didn't really affect it that much. It was a little weird at the beginning, but by the end, I didn't even notice.
Dude, I think it improved it. Because sometimes the audience woos and oohs and ahs at punches that don't really connect. And it throws you off, and it maybe can throw the judges off. But when there's just a few guys in there, like literally, the fighters could hear their coaches coaching them.
Oh, shit.
And you could hear the fighters talking to their coaches.
Yeah.
Right? You could hear Rogan and Cormier and the other guy talking during the fight. Yeah. At one point, they all go, oh, shit, I think the fighters can hear us. We should lower our voices.
That's crazy.
Because they're being critical of a guy who's actually in the ring getting his fucking face punched in.
Yeah.
See, it's funny. It's like I usually like the excitement of the crowd because then usually Rogan has to like yell over them and it adds to that excitement. It's like he's yelling and he just has that energy. It's just like, oh, shit, he's hype. I'm hype too.
It's
like, I guess I thought it would take away a little bit from it.
You think, but when you get in there, it's really kind of nice and like you get kind of locked in and quiet. Like, I don't know, like I'm sure when you've had fights, whenever you have a fight, you can't hear anything.
Oh, yeah.
Any fight I've ever had, like even when I would spar, sound didn't exist.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And that's kind of what happens in the fight. Nobody's there. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to go to fights. I can't wait till people get back. But it didn't take away from the experience that bad.
And being able to hear the corners was really interesting.
It was cool.
Like, yeah. It really adds something.
Tony Ferguson, his corner had some of the worst advice I've ever heard in my entire life in a corner. Like at one point, the guy goes, "Breathe, Tony."
Actually, no, that's not bad advice. That's not bad advice, son. Because you box as well. There's times where it's like you're just throwing, and then you gash yourself out, not realizing. But it's like if you were breathing that whole time, you can keep going.
At this level, you breathe when you punch, and you breathe when you kick. This is the elite of the elite, right? It's like you don't have. You tell that to somebody at their first day of boxing class, where you go, "Don't hold your breath when you throw your punches. Actually, exhale." Matter of fact, if anybody's listening right now, and you hear a lot of times when people punch, you hear them go, "Huh." That's just a like Pavlovian response to throwing a punch to remind yourself to breathe. But and like, yo, I love Eddie Bravo. I think this guy's a great character, but it seemed like Tony was not paying attention to his corner at all. Like it really seemed like Eddie at one point was like, you might want to try one of these rolls called like a something Umanari roll. It's basically Umanari roll. And he like subtly suggested it. I got a feeling you can't tell Tony Ferguson what to do. I got a feeling like his camp is just a little similar to like Ali's camp where it's like you don't tell Ali what to do. Ali comes with the idea and then you help him execute it.
Ali's Ali though.
100%. You know what I mean? And Tony Ferguson hadn't lost since 2012. Like he was an elite fighter. He just went up against this guy Justin Gaethje who I knew he was going to lose to. I was texting Brendan Schaub about it.
His styles don't match?
Every time I saw Tony Ferguson fight, he had no defense for hands. Unbelievable athlete, unbelievable stamina, unbelievable courage and fucking heart, and very hard puncher. He could punch hard, but he had no head movement, no defense for hands, so he would get caught all the time. This guy, Justin Gaethje, throws bombs.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. He is a dangerous fucking guy to be in the ring with. And if you have no defense, he's going to tag you up.
Right.
He is the perfect guy to beat Tony Ferguson. And you know what sucks? Tony Ferguson, I think, had the best chance of beating Khabib. And now he's never going to get to fight him. Stylistically.
Yeah.
Because Khabib will take you to the ground and Tony Ferguson has amazing jiu-jitsu.
Right.
So I wanted Khabib to take Tony to the ground and then maybe Tony be able to pull some cool shit, throw some elbows, cut him up. Now Justin Gaethje's going to fight Khabib.
Not even a fight.
What's that?
It won't even be a fight.
And it won't be a fight.
You're an MMA fan?
Yeah, kind of, tangentially.
Okay.
But it's just like, Khabib is so amazing. He's going to take Gaethje to the ground. Granted, Gaethje is, has a wrestling background. He was successful. He was an NCAA All-American wrestler for like North Colorado or something like that. But Khabib is a generational talent with wrestling. He's going to take him to the fucking ground. He's going to hold him there. It's going to be a boring fight. You know who would be a fireworks of a fight? Conor versus Gaethje. And I hope they make that fight.
Weren't they talking shit to each other?
Oh, Conor was going in on Twitter.
And Gaethje was firing back, right?
I don't know if Gaethje's responded yet. But
I think go down. I think I might have that.
You just had the what's it called? Conor tweets.
Okay.
Yeah. And but that would be a fucking barn burner.